Hello you guys, good morning and welcome to my little corner of YouTube. Today is Wednesday, May 1st. My name is Laura and I am the owner and creator of Back Porch Fiber Co. Thanks so much for joining me today, you guys. Today should be a brief podcast. One, because I'm still recovering. Man, we got hit hard with this sickness that's going around. Just lots of like uncontrollable coughing like crazy. So my drink of choice today is some hot tea to try to minimize the times that I need to stop and cough. So the tea that I got, where's the box? There we go. It's the first time that I'm trying this, but it is a elderberry lemon balm immune and stress kind of thing. So it's actually super tasty. I just got it at Trader Joe's, but it's really good. So coffee is normal, like that's my normal go-to, but today, circumstances, it's tea. We've been drinking a lot of tea around here. So yeah, like as I mentioned, just a couple life things here before we jump into finished objects and dishcloth make along and all of that kind of stuff. But so my daughter and her boyfriend have been sick for quite some time and we worked really hard at not getting it. We had a trip planned. My son and I left for Houston April 11th, I believe. And we went to go visit my friend Annie from Knits and Burls. She used to podcast. She's not really active right now, but if you just want to binge watch, go back and watch her episodes on YouTube because they are really nice to watch. I love her episodes, so can't recommend that enough. So we went for a quick little getaway there. We went from like Thursday to Sunday. And then my son and I, we flew to Tennessee, where a friend of mine picked me up. She moved there back in June, I believe, July of 2023. And we met in my knit group, or her knit group at the time. So, and her and I just became very close. And that's how Annie and I met too. So like some of my closest friends are actually through my knit group, which I absolutely love. And so she picked me up from the airport. We just stayed one night with her and it was just so nice to catch up, see her new place and all of that. And then my family came to Tennessee on Monday night and we were able to meet up and then spend the rest of the week in Tennessee. Well, during that time, my son and I got sick. So it was fine. Like it was pretty minor at the beginning and it was fine. Anyways, that's like, I feel like I've been MIA. That's our story. MIA for one, just because I've been enjoying the time, you know, visiting friends and then vacation with the family. And then we've just been sick. And I tell you, like, this thing wiped us out. I'm thinking like, okay, well, I'm just gonna have to rest a lot, so I'll have a lot of knitting time. Nope, because you're just coughing constantly. All night, all day, constantly. So finally, like, we're pretty homeopathic as a family. Nothing against Western medicine. I just would prefer some more natural ways to deal with things. And we tried, but I think my son and I, like by the time we were able to start on a lot of our homeopathic stuff, it was too far gone. So we're on meds now and definitely feeling a lot better, but still cough from time to time. Hence the nice warm beverage. And while I feel like I could have had some more knitting time in this last like 3 or 4 days, I've just kind of been playing catch up from being sick. So now we get back from our trip on Monday. My husband leaves Thursday, and my husband, like, we did everything that we could to not get him sick. So he was not sick. And he left backpacking with some friends. Like, April, I tell you, has just been a month of travel and fun and friends, and it's been phenomenal, but also a month of sickness. So, so he went backpacking in Utah, like southern Utah, and just had a phenomenal time. But then I'm flying solo, sick. My son is sick. My daughter and her boyfriend got sick again, or just had residual stuff from their sickness. But they were fine while they were traveling. They were totally fine. So I think maybe they just got a little bit more of what we have. But the other thing that we're dealing with here in California are allergies. I have asthma-induced allergies right now. I've had it years past, and it's tough because, like, while you're dealing with the sickness, you're dealing with allergies on top of it. And that's why I think I got hit so hard. But anyways, we're definitely on the mend. But just, I don't feel like I have a ton of knitting to show you guys, just because it's been kind of a weird month. But I did finish my dishcloths. Literally just wove in the ends for my April knitted dishcloth, and I did finish my March, April crochet dishcloth as well. So, but before we get into dishcloths, let's just go over a finished object. I think other than the dishcloths, I just have one other finished object. So while I was in Houston, I'm sitting like on a piano bench here. And so I have like my projects on both sides of me. And sometimes it's a little bit squeaky when I move. So my apologies. Okay, so while I was in Houston, my friend Annie let me know. She's like, okay, bring needles for socks because I have some yarn for us to cast on together. So she surprised me with 50 grams of the Woolens and Nosh 2023 Advent. I tell you, man, Woolens and Nosh knows what's going on. Her Advents are so spectacular. So what you can do is you can buy and I don't know if there's options with or without, but you can buy a project bag, and she winds the 250-gram skeins. So she winds them separate for you and puts them in the bag and closes it up. And then there are like little bits of a main color throughout. So for Advent on day 1, you knit that color until you get to that, like the main color, like in between all the colors. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. So then the next day isn't spoiled for you. It's a pretty cool concept. I cannot wait to actually get my hands on her 2024 one. But Annie was able to find us 2 that came from separate people, 50-gram skeins with the contrast color of the 2024 Advent. It was such a wonderful surprise. Like, I loved it. So we cast on and worked our socks together. We didn't finish while we were together, but we both got a good decent amount on these socks done. I do think that this is like the most that I've talked since I've been sick. So it's a struggle. Okay, so look at these amazing socks, you guys. I did them on 9-inch circs. So the Woolens and Nosh yarn is very plump. She calls it a fingering weight yarn. The yardage is fingering weight, but it definitely has the feel of a sport weight yarn. It's very plush and dense. So I've been doing my socks on a US 1 9-inch circular or US 0 9-inch circular. And these I had to go up to a 1 because it just would have been too dense otherwise. And I didn't get the very last color in. We were trying to plan it accordingly so that we could get one of every color in. And it's a white but I do wish that I would have gotten that. But look at these amazing socks. So mine has 23 stripes. I love how they fit, and it's just a 50-gram skein. Then I did 25 rows for the cuff because I wanted a longer cuff, like longer leg. And I was, a little bit shy. Like we tried to figure out how to be able to end. But really, I could have probably gotten 3 more stripes here on the leg. So I'll remember that next time for our 2024 one. Because I could have done just the contrast color for the toes. But aren't these spectacular, you guys? Thank you so much, Annie. Like, this was such a phenomenal surprise. It was such a fun knit. So I brought so much knitting with me on my trip because I'm thinking, okay, I'm hanging out with Annie. We're gonna be driving in the car a lot, and I'm hanging out with another knit friend. So I'm like, we're gonna have so much time like to knit. But I just spent most of my time on these, which was fabulous. I love that. So Woolens and Nosh, amazing yarn. I love it. We're actually gonna do kind of like a share a pair. So Woolens and Nosh, I think, is having an update here pretty soon. And so we're gonna grab a couple skeins and then split them and do the 50-50 again. Okay, the next, let's see, I don't wanna get into dishcloths yet. Those are my next finished objects, but let's do all the dishcloth stuff all at one time. So I'm gonna share with you guys my Autumn Lines pullover. And I worked on this quite a bit while I was in Tennessee because it was one of those projects that we could, while we were driving, I could just knit without looking. The yarn is thick enough and the needles are thick enough. Yeah, I could just work on this without looking at all. Let me go grab the ball band for this. I'll be right back. Okay. This is the yarn that I'm using. It's Concept by Katya. I don't know if this has the color is 103, but it's a cotton merino, like a worsted weight yarn. It's very, like it's a air spun, or I forget what that's called, but like where there's kind of air in the, sorry, I just noticed that like there's this knot in the middle of it. I dislike when that happens, but it is what it is. Yeah, so these are 50-gram skeins. They're pretty reasonably priced. I did have to get it on Etsy for the colors and everything that I wanted, but this is the same yarn that I used for my ranunculus, and I absolutely loved it. So I cannot remember if I told you guys the story of this sweater or not, but it was kind of in a timeout for a bit. I had done the yoke, I had done quite a bit of the body, and it was so tight to knit on. I think I was using a US 7, I think, needle, and it was just too tight. It didn't feel smooth to work on. I felt like I had to, like, it was hard on my hands and it was hard on the needles. I don't know, it wasn't pleasant at all to work on. So I was actually gonna frog it, and I was in the middle of frogging it, and I thought, like, I did a fit check, and I loved how the top piece fit, but it just wasn't enjoyable to work on. So instead of taking the entire thing out, I actually took it out just to the bottom of this lace section here. And then I cast it back on, or like picked up all those stitches with bigger needles. And since then, so now I think I'm using a size US 9, and since then I have loved working on this. Yeah, these are a 9. I like the material better. I like the drape of it better. I like working on it better. And I don't know, like, it worked with the lace. I don't think that you could pull that off with every sweater to do that, like to change needle sizes in the middle of a project, but it worked because of the lace. And I think that this lace will blossom and open up even more once it's blocked. And so I think that there will be even less of a difference. The other thing that I noticed is that when I was trying this on with the size 7 needles on the bottom, there were like little puckers like kind of where these little edges came. And I feel like with the 9, that dissipated a little bit, which is great. So I did do a fit check. I'll pop in footage of that here. So I used the barber cords, and I do sell those in my shop if you need some, but they are amazing. They make fit checks so easy. I love it. But I did figure out that I want it a little bit longer, about 3 inches longer. So I put a progress keeper here where I did the fit check so that I know when I go back, or like as I'm knitting now, I want about 3 inches, and I think that's going to be total for me with the ribbing and everything. So I need to see how much of a ribbing this pattern calls for and how much I want. And then I'll be starting on the ribbing, and I think the sleeves, everything is going to go really quick. The sleeves do have some more lace work at the bottom of them. I think they're kind of more like a balloon sleeve with the lace work at the bottom. So I'm really excited about that. But I feel like this project for me has just been completely rejuvenated. I'm loving it. And I know by the time I finish it, it's probably going to be way too hot to wear, even though it's a cotton merino, because it's like the air spun and there's like air in between the fibers. I think it'll kind of hold in that warmth too much, but I'm really looking forward to wearing it in the fall. So, but there's that. I love it, you guys. I love it. I feel like it's a whole new project now that I have recast on using those, or re-frogged it and picked it back up. So just an encouragement for you guys, like don't feel like you always have to frog a project if it's not working out. Sometimes it takes like thinking outside of the box to figure out how can I salvage this to some degree. And sometimes frogging a project is what needs to happen, and that's okay too. But yeah, in this case, I didn't need to frog the whole thing. I was able to keep the lace part of it, which has taken me the longest. So it was a little bit tricky figuring out how to, like, where my stitch counts were, because you do a few little raglan increases. Like after you do the yoke part of it, you do a few raglan increases just like right through here. So it did take a little bit of working out and tinking back and everything. And when you're undoing a project like this, I recommend only going like a few rows before where you think you're going to need to go, because in that way it gives you an opportunity to kind of tink back one at a time if you need to figure out stitch counts and all of that kind of thing, and what like where the pattern is going. So that would be a tip. Yeah, that's a super yummy tea. Okay, so then, I also wanted to share something else that I've kind of altered a little bit too. So I've gotten one cross done on my alignment throw. My goal has been 2 crosses, but we just had a lot of things going on. So I just got this one cross done on my alignment throw, and then I decided I bound it off, good to go, start the other one, and I just got to thinking I wanted it longer. So the 2 strips that I have done, I will need to tink those back and take out the bound off edge, and I'm gonna just add 1 more cross. So I started doing that yesterday, just adding another cross. So it was bound off here. So I added that main color section and then started adding in my contrast color. So technically I'm behind, but I'm just gonna start fresh for May and count this as my first May cross that I'm doing. And you'll have seen in other episodes, like if you want to see the progress of it all and the other strips, I have that in my last episode, kind of laying it all out and figuring out my colors and all of that. So, and I just quickly grabbed this color because we were kind of going out of the house and I needed one. I did not kind of like hold it out and see. So I'm hoping it works, but because I'm adding on that section, I don't have anything in the next ones, in the next strips. So if you're new, this is your first episode. This is the alignment throw by Heidi and Lana. I'm using all of her minis. I'm doing it fingering held double, but then there were some modifications that I had to make as well. So real quick, those modifications are, I did one less of everything. So it's a paid for pattern. I don't want to give away the stitch counts and everything, but I'm just gonna use a round number like 10. So if she says, you know, like knit 10 in your main color, 10 in your contrast, 10 in your main color again for that intarsia area, then I would just do 9 of each. If she did, you know, like 10 rows or 10 repeats, I would do 9 repeats of each section. So any numbers that are in her pattern, I just did one, like literally one less, one stitch less, one repeat less, everything. And that seems to work out, and I have enough of the fingering weight yarn. When I first started, I did it as her pattern wrote, but after a few colors in, I ran out. I ran out of the fingering weight yarn because it calls, the DK version calls for 25 grams, not 20. And her fingering weight minis are 20. So in order to be able to use her fingering weight minis held double, those were the modifications that I had to make. Now, if you're not bound by a 20 gram mini, you could stick with her pattern measurements and I think it would be great. But, so I added another cross because of those modifications. It just wasn't quite long enough for me since I was doing one less in each section, and that does add up over an entire blanket of time. So anyways, that's the alignment throw, where I'm at on that. Yeah, you know, another project that I kind of had to modify and tink back, but now I'm super happy with it. So anyways, I wanted to share with you guys one other project that I've cast on. It's a pair of socks. It is the Larch Ped Socks. I cannot remember if I talked about these last time. Let's see. So they have like a folded tab on the back of them. They're super cute, you guys. They're a little bit fiddly to work at the beginning, but I feel like I'm kind of at a point now where I think it'll be a little bit easier. Actually, well, I'm actually only on the heel flap is where I'm at on these. So I'm using this yarn. It's a Tiny Humans knit yarn. I don't have the ball band, but it's one that my friend Annie gave me that she was, it's just a 50 gram skein that she had no longer, was going to use. So, but here's where I'm at. I've done the folded brim. I've combined that all together, and now I'm just working on the heel flap. So, and I'm using her technique for these barber cords. If you wonder, like, what am I using this barber cord for? To grab the stitches where I will pick up for after the heel flap. And so, like, she has a tutorial on this, but basically, like, you wrap your yarn around a barber cord. Sorry. And then at the end, you just attach it onto a needle and pull it through. So then all of your stitches are picked up. So I will link her tutorial for that below because it's actually genius. It is brilliant. I love it. So I have started those. Excited about that. And I usually don't do a heel flap and gusset, but I'm going to this time. And I think I might try that for a sock next time as well. I don't know. Okay, sorry. I'll put that back up here. Okay, so some dishcloths that I've finished. I made this dishcloth and there's no pattern to it necessarily. It's just a small little guy. I want to say it's like a double moss stitch or something like that. And I still have the ends to weave in. This is out of the Knit Picks Dishy. Look at how, like, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's so oddly shaped. It's almost like a diamond, which I know a square is a diamond, but it just feels like it's waiting on this one side. I don't know. Anyways, I did this for a friend who has really helped me out this last month. I noticed when I was at her house that she had some knit dishcloths and they were worn, like well-loved, worn. And so I was just gonna make her a couple extras. So this is just one that I just whipped together. I have another one going, but, well, here, I'll show you. Let's see. This is one that I just took on the plane with me. So there you go. And this is just like, it was just a stitch that I found in a stitch book and just figured out the measurements. A lot of these stitch books, they'll tell you to cast on like 4 plus 3 or whatever it is. And so that's just what you do. And then knit for however many you want. Trial and error. I think I may have taken this one out and started it again. I'm not sure, but anyways, yeah, just toss that over to the side. But anyway, so I've done a couple dishcloths for a friend. No real patterns or anything, just playing around. It's kind of fun to do that with dishcloth sometimes. Okay, my crochet dishcloth for March and April, because I didn't finish it in March, is the Uranus. This is probably my favorite dishcloth that I have done so far, crochet or knit. I absolutely love this. I love the drape of it. I loved the working it up. It was very easy, but it felt very not complicated. Like, it was super easy, but it just felt like it wasn't boring. How about that? It wasn't a boring knit. It was, or crochet. It was really, really fun, but very easy to follow all at the same time. So that is the book fell. Okay. From this book here, the Easy Crochet Dishcloths, and it was Uranus. It's on page 25. So I'm using the Friends Cotton from Hobby, and it's a fingering weight yarn. I am loving this fingering weight yarn, you guys. Loving it. The project that I want to do for May, my May, I'm just swapping over my tab here. Let's see. So this one is called Morning Dew for the May crochet dishcloth that I want to do. Here we go. And I'm just picking, you guys. There's like no rhyme or reason. I'm just picking. So if you are following along with the Back Porch Fiber Co. dishcloth make along, and you're doing the same ones that I am doing, like, I am honored. I think that that's so fun and amazing, but there's also no pressure to do that as well. I love seeing your guys' dishcloths and what you're working on. But yeah, so I have not picked out a color for this one yet, but that's the one that we're gonna do. And this one is called Morning Dew. It's on page 49 in that book. Okay, so I'd love to hear what you guys are doing. I will also pick another winner for the April winner. So, and if you need to know how to enter for that, you can always add comments in any of my YouTube videos for this. Or you can, the easiest way, honestly, for me is, and I keep a spreadsheet. So it might be more work for me, but I want to make sure that no matter what avenue you guys are entering, I want to make sure that everybody gets an equal chance, whether that's YouTube. You can email me. The easiest way is on Instagram, and to use the hashtag BPSC dishcloth make along. It's down below. So yeah, I'll put that across the screen right here too. So that is the easiest way for me to get entries in for sure, but I'll take them however. Okay, so then my knit dishcloth. Grab this book. So this is the book that I'm working out of this year. And I chose to do the parallelogram dishcloth. I really enjoyed this one, and it is I would say it's a good favorite as well. But something about the Uranus one, I really liked it a lot. But again, I like the drape of these. I've been using them in my kitchen. Finally broke them in and have been using them, and I love them. Love the feel of the fingering weight yarn. It's not too thick and like it doesn't soak up as much water, I guess. I don't know. I just love it. I love this. So this is the parallelogram. Again, fingering Friends 8-4 cotton from Hobby. This is the, it's gonna come off to the side here, but I chose a very similar color to their example. I just loved it. It was fun. And that is on page 49 of this book. So the one that I'm going to be attempting to do, and I say attempting, and I'll tell you why in just a second, but the one that I'm going to be attempting to do is the waffle rib. I don't really feel like this is a great picture of it. Like as far as to see the whole thing. Let me see if there's, sometimes they have like more pictures like somewhere else in the book. Let's see. I almost chose dragon scale, but I don't know. I don't see another like bigger picture of it at all, but there's really like not much rhyme or reason as far as like why I chose waffle rib. I just thought it looked kind of fun. Yeah, I don't see it again in here anywhere else to show you a better picture of it, but that's okay. I wonder if this is it. No, that's not it either. Okay, well, there it is. And that is on page 57 of this book, the Easy Knit Dishcloth book. I've loved this book. I'm really liking the fingering weight yarn, etc. It's just great all around. Cannot speak more highly of it. I'm really enjoying the yarn. I'm really enjoying the process of these dishcloths, which brings me to the next thing I want to talk to you guys about, and that is the dishcloth subscription boxes that I'm going to be doing. And those are going to be June, July, and August. So we've had a few hiccups, and it's still scheduled for June, but I ordered all of the things that were going to go into the box, and for some reason they got it all returned back to sender. So I'm waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. So you guys, it takes a really long time to find the products that I want to use for these boxes, like hours and hours and hours of research. And so I had ordered everything, and then it got returned to the sender. I still don't know why. But so then I had to sit down and reorder everything, and I'm trying to and I also had to wait for those funds to go back into my account and all these things. And so like I just reordered everything because then we were on vacation. I'm telling you, like it's been a crazy April. But I'm like, okay, I have all of these things ordered. We're good for those subscription boxes, and it, for whatever reason, would not come. So waited, finally reordered things, and they should be here. I have no doubt that they'll be here in plenty of time for the subscription boxes to go out. But before I put that pre-order up, I want to make sure that they are on their way and past the point of return before I put pre-orders up. Because that would be a headache. That would be crazy for you guys and for me. So everything is ordered and all set for the boxes. I just, again, am waiting a little bit longer to put those pre-orders up. But the pre-order will go up on May 9th. It's next Friday, May 9th. And then those boxes will ship out the last week of May. Super excited, you guys, for this box. Like, it has been a labor of love. I have absolutely Had so much fun, even with all of the hiccups, you guys. I've had so much fun putting these boxes together for y'all. So the box will include, and I know that like I've talked and brainstormed a lot about different things with the box and options and different, you know, all of that. But at this point, I had to streamline it to get them out in time. And because it will include a pattern as well. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not sure that I will get to the dishcloth pattern that I chose for out of the book this time, because I am test knitting my pattern in the yarn that is going into the box. And so here's the scoop. The subscription box will be a fingering weight yarn. It's a Friends, Hobby Friends 8/4 fingering weight yarn. And the reason that I chose that over a worsted or a sport weight is because I feel like that's the most interest and most intriguing. Like, people are so curious about this fingering weight yarn. It's not the norm. There's a lot of dishy, there's a lot of, you know, the sugar and cream, I think, that you can buy at Michael's and Joann's and all of that. There's a lot of worsted weight dishcloth yarn out there already. And I'm really enjoying this fingering weight yarn, and that's what I want to bring to you guys. The other reason that I chose the fingering weight yarn option is because if you're buying a subscription box, my expectation of that subscription box, and I'm sure we all have different expectations, but my expectation would be that the project wouldn't just take me 2 days to knit. I would want to get more for my money out of that. And I feel like even though a worsted and a fingering weight yarn are the same price point, technically, I just feel like you're getting more of a project with the fingering weight yarn. And it's going to take you, while dishcloths can be quick, it'll take you a little bit longer to work through that project, which is what I would want from a subscription box. It feels so fun to me to knit from the subscription box and be a part of that. And I think I would be disappointed if it was just over in 2 days. So that was another reason why I chose the fingering weight yarn option. I have really been enjoying the fingering weight yarn, and I want to bring that to you guys as well. I've also mentioned doing a needle option, and just the way things landed, I'm not able to do a needle option this time around. I would still love to in the future, but it just didn't work this time. But I do think that you'll have plenty of time to get a needle if you need it. It'll be a size US 2 needle for the pattern for what I'm doing. And which has been, that's what I've done all of my knit fingering weight dishcloths on, is a US 2, and I really love the drape of it. It feels like it's manageable. It's the yarn and the needle work together really well for it as well. So yeah, that's the scoop behind the fingering weight yarn. The items that are in this box, I am not really ordering extras of to go in my shop. So these are exclusive only to the box, the subscription box. And yeah, I mean, I don't think you're gonna want to miss out. Like, I am so excited about this first box, you guys. I have no words. It's gonna be fun. So I would definitely grab one. And there will be 24 for June, 24 spots, and that's it. It's an investment, and so I want to make sure that all of those get taken, and yeah, that it's manageable for me and all of that. But I'm so excited about it, you guys. So those will go on sale through my website, backporchfiberco.com. I'm doing it there because if I do it through Etsy, Etsy wants you to, ship in a timely manner, and they won't be shipped until the last week of May. So, it's a little bit scary for me, honestly, but it's so fun and exciting all at the same time. So if you guys are able to get one of those boxes, I just say thank you for just being a part of these first subscription boxes. Like, it'll be so much fun. I just cannot wait. So, okay, with that said, enough about subscription boxes. I think that's about it. I am just kind of feeling like, oh my gosh. The other crazy thing that's going on right now is that I am doing my first Fiber Festival. It is June 1st in Vacaville, California. So if you are anywhere nearby there, come on out. It's at Soul Food Farms in Vacaville. It's kind of out in the country. So, when GPS takes you off the main road and, until these little 2-lane country roads, keep going. It's such a fun venue. They did it for the first time last year, and I wanted to be a part of it, but their vendor spots were already full because it was the first year that they had done it at Soul Food Farms, and so they wanted to make sure that it was successful for their vendors, which I can totally appreciate. But I talked with I made contact with the event coordinator and last year, and she said that they really wanted me to be a part of it for the 2024 for this year. And so we just stayed in contact, and I'm a vendor at the Fiber Festival for 2024, June 1st at Soul Food Farms. And so that is another huge milestone for me, and scary and exciting all at the same time. And I'm like, how much stuff do I need to bring? How much variety do I need to have? I am making new bags, and yeah, it's so fun, you guys. It's so fun to do all these new fun things. But so with that said, another kind of thing that I want to let you guys know is that I think I'm going to be retiring a lot of the bags that I sell in my shop, the statement bags. It says, this is my sock knitting bag. This is my, this is my sock knitting bag. This is my dishcloth knitting bag, all those things. And I could still take a pre-order for those, but I'm going to start working those out of my shop eventually. I probably won't buy more of the heat transfers that I need to make those, because I just want to mix things up. I just want some new merchandise in there. I'm working on some new bag designs that are really fun. And yeah, so you'll see those kind of unfold, but they probably won't hit the shop until midsummer is what I would guess. But I do have some really fun designs coming as well. So, okay, that's it, you guys. Thanks for watching and sticking around. I'm glad I got through this without too many coughing, really hardly any coughing. I'm super thankful for that. So maybe that's a good sign. So you guys, happy knitting. Thanks again for joining me, and look for those subscription boxes Friday, May 10th. May 10th. Friday, May 10th? Okay, hold on. Okay, yes, it's Friday, May 10th. So I'm really sorry about that. I will have to go back and change that. Stick around for the giveaway winner I'll put in a clip right after this. But after that, you guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate just all your love and support that you guys have given me, your comments, your participation in the make-along. It's just been really, really fun having this space for everybody. Talk to you guys later. Until next time, bye-bye. All right, you guys, I wanted to pop back on because I've chosen a winner for the dishcloth make-along for the April time frame, although once you've entered, you're always entered, and your entry just continues over month to month to month. So this particular entry was, I believe, from a YouTube comment on like one of my very first episodes where I was talking about the Dishcloth make along. This is what you're gonna win. So you see, this is a custom Progress Keeper set. So I put this together just for this giveaway. A Knit Life sticker. These are in my shop. Cute little Knit Life sticker. And some worsted weight rainbow 8/8 yarn. I think this is like a seafoam colorway, but it is color number 98. So these 3 things are headed your way, Carlin Lancer. 2265, I think, but I'll reach out to you. But please send me your address so I can get these things in the mail to you. I'm super excited for you. This is somebody who is just an unbelievable support. So super happy that you won, Carlin. Yeah, reach out to me and get me all your details so I can get this in the mail to you.